What up, good people? I'm JR from JRVisual.com here with my brothers Montel, Skrilla, and D. Morrow, and you're listening to the Talk 100 podcast. As we attempt to better understand the world, we link up and kick it about current events, always making sure we keep it a buck. Check us out online at talk100.com, YouTube, Apple Podcast, and Twitch at Talk, the number one, HUNNID. Thanks for being here on a Friday night, giving us your support. If you want to link up with us and be a part of the conversation, you can catch the live show on our website by clicking the live link in the navigation bar. Today is January the 22nd, 21, Friday night, coming off the Martin Luther King holiday week. We also got the inauguration of the 46th administration moving into the White House. Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, congratulations to them. Trump couldn't get out of town fast enough. Also, we got the vaccine updates, a lot of controversy going on with that. Nike is suing 600 websites for selling counterfeit apparel. That's a big deal, especially in the black market. And everybody's homeboy, Dave Chappelle, tested positive for COVID-19. Get well, Dave. We need you out here. Also, Soulja Boy is sued again, this time by his personal assistant. A whole lot of claims going on in that lawsuit. So go ahead and grab you a drink, some popcorn, something like that. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. All of these stories coming up next and more in the next hour on the Talk 100 podcast. Let's go. Fellas, what's happening?
Hey, what's going down? What's going down? J Rouse.
Chilling, man. Skrilla, how you feeling? You muted, brother. Sound like.
Yeah, you muted, man.
Thank y'all for tuning in to the Talk 100 podcast. We on episode like 3 or 4 or something like that. We're going to have a bunch of stuff that we're going to try to get on out of here in this next hour. A lot of stuff going on, politics. We might as well jump off in that. Skrilla, I know you saw all of the pardons and all of the conversation about that with Donald Trump. How many people was it? Like 100, almost 150 people he pardoned?
Yeah, a lot of people.
A lot of people. What's up with the with him with these celebrities and stuff? What you think about that?
Just to me, I mean, that was just the par for course, so to speak. We was kind of expecting a few of those names that we had seen. Some surprises.
Was Kwame a surprise? D-Mar, was you surprised to see Kwame Kilpatrick on the list, on Trump list?
Yes, and then I was unsurprised after a little while. But yes, initially I was surprised by Kwame being on that list.
Yeah, I didn't know he wrote Trump a letter last year or a couple of years ago or something like that, commending him for his job and standing up for America and all of these things. That was a big shock to me. I heard that this week. I didn't know that. So was he begging to get out?
Of course. But he probably wrote Obama as well.
I'm
he's
sure
trying to get out of there.
Now, I heard a lot of people, I was talking to people saying that Kwame deserved to stay in prison for what he did to the city of Detroit. And I want to know how y'all feel about that. Do y'all believe Kwame deserved to rot in jail with all these charges or what?
Go first, Tel.
I mean, he got to pay restitution. So if he stole and he has to pay it back, I mean, wouldn't that be punishment enough?
What you think, D?
Well, actually, sometimes it is restitution is generally, it's always connected to a lot of these crimes and everything else. But generally, no, paying back in a lot of situations is not good enough. It's the time itself that they want to make sure that it's done, as far as just to face on the end of consequences, to make sure that it's because they hold that in high regard when you're talking about colluding against the city and doing those different things. A lot of the charges that he had upon him, and then he was deemed as being dismissive of taking it serious because he had it set up where he had restitution. They were saying he was lying about some financials. He was down here in Dallas, Texas, and you kind of smugged your way at the system, and that's not going to go over well. And I think that, first thing people said, well, Kim Worthy was on a witch hunt. Possibly, but again, sometimes we don't need to be in a situation where we got a witch hunt going on us. So for him, the federal, they said, hey, you need 27 years. We're gonna go ahead and throw the book at you.
Yeah, he got a lot of charges for that mail wire fraud. Anytime you messing with the government, they coming to get theirs. But I just like, man, I think the most beef I had with Kwame and that whole little story was the murder of that lady, man.
Me too.
That was the biggest thing for me. All the rest of that stuff, it's like, okay, well, what is he doing that everybody else haven't done? Why are we coming down on him for, being a part of this pay-to-play system, and we're not talking about all these other folks? It's just like the Bill Cosby and everybody else who we love, who we adore. And Kwame was one of those guys. Everybody loved him. Everybody looked at him as somewhat of a savior, and especially around here. Like if they was talking about Kwame could be before Obama was Obama. Like when did
very
he get
talented young man, and I'm sure a lot of people was disappointed at his actions, but you got to think he spent 12 years in jail. So does he? I thought the 28 years was extensive anyway, and like I said, he served his time, and he has to pay the restitution back. And I think the biggest surprise that they didn't let Bill out, that he didn't pardon Bill.
Who? Bill who?
Bill Cosby.
Oh, Bill Cosby, right? Yeah, well, yeah.
Now that was a surprise.
They was buddies, right?
Yeah.
And the Tiger guy, the Tiger King guy. I was shocked about. I thought he would definitely get him out. That was his boy too, I thought.
Nah, I don't know about dude. I mean, you think about it, it is one of those things where you can critique the move and everything, but I mean, I wouldn't wish prison on anybody, especially nobody was physically hurt per se. He wasn't charged with murder. I mean, as the story goes, it wasn't him anyway, but kind of happened under his watch. But they didn't charge him with it. So
this is the Tiger King guy.
No, I'm talking about Kwame. My fault. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? I thought that was just kind of like a internet sensational play off of the show. You know what I'm saying? The Netflix series or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Well, yeah. What was said, and I'm looking to get this other, because I watched a video that was sent to me by my man Phil down here with me in Houston, from a guy that was actually, he didn't get a pardon, and you guys might know him, whoever, but he was actually trying to get a pardon from Trump, and he was denied. He said he paid $50,000 just to, I guess, to meet over and discuss things with the attorney and all those things, and he was saying that basically that $50,000 went down the drain because he didn't even get another meeting, but at that particular desk he met with Giuliani, what's the name, Giuliani, Trump's ex New York mayor and Trump's attorney, Rudy.
The 9/11
so
guy. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and he said it's going to be, first of all, at least $2 million. Now, so here's the thing, and this is, I guess, I don't know if you guys heard about anything with this to go along with that side of the story and what was said. These people that was pardoned, when you start talking about everybody from the rappers to Also the original person that helped start Death Row with Suge Knight out there in California. Heard Snoop Dogg got on the line with Trump too. Trump didn't even sleep that last night in the office. He stayed up all night writing pardons. Okay, who's getting me? And from my understanding, it's a check attached to it. It's supposed to go through the pardoning attorney's office, which it did not do that. Those pardons didn't. It went straight to negotiations directly with him.
But listen, if that's a fact, then that's a telling fact. Like, why would you have to stay up all night on your last night to do this? It's like you trying to do it for a reason, or I don't get that.
That's a good question.
You should have already had that already squared away if you really wanted to do it for whatever, from the heart or whatnot. They say the Tiger King, he had limos and everything waiting for him.
He had it all. He had it all laid out. And it just was crazy. And just like I said, my man Phil said it was a payola equivalent. And my man Gino down here, and Gino's listening right now, down in Houston with who you met, J. Ralph. He's all for it. He was all for it, and he was saying he hoped Trump is drinking plenty of coffee, staying up, and pardoning everybody that he can. And I just was it was funny on one end because, like I said, I heard that this was going to happen a month before, but I really didn't know for sure. Like, wow, there's going to be this long of a list. And then what's the criteria? Did it go through the right procedures? And no, from my understanding, no, it didn't. So you're right, J. Ralph, like when it's like, wait a minute. You kind of stayed, why was this all rushed at the end, right before it's time to get up out of here on Air Force One in the morning? Really?
Yeah, it was almost like a tantrum or something, like the final little. So your boy Joe Biden, in his first day, he signed 17 executive orders. First day, they hit the ground running. I don't know, he didn't sign nothing as far as the stimulus. They doing negotiations for that, but just a lot of stuff, local aid and on the state level too, which wasn't in the first stimulus stuff. So now his new stimulus, he's asking for a lot of. I heard a lot about the evictions and all that type of stuff. So nobody have to pay for, their apartments and all this type of stuff right now.
What's the timeline? Was 6 months or something?
I think it was something like that. I don't know the exact number, but just him addressing these things in the beginning was it's something new, it's something different, I guess. Trump started doing the same thing, just signing executive orders or whatnot, but coming off of the Trump thing, everybody's waiting to see what's going to happen now. So what's some of the, I don't know if Skrilla, have you seen anything interesting as far as some of the first things that he signed this week?
Yeah, he signed quite a bit of executive orders, and basically it just picking up basically from what they were trying to push with the Obama administration. So business.
Which things was there? Which things was there from the Obama administration?
I mean, he just picked up from this whole their whole agenda that they were pushing up under Obama administration. So
yeah, I saw the transgender. Yeah, I saw the transgender thing. That's one of the things that Trump pretty much tossed out as soon as he got in there. And now they put that right back on the table with the bathrooms and the transgender sports and all of that. So that's one thing that they just pick right back up. But it's interesting, Kamala is, the first female vice president. And I've seen that it's a whole lot of stuff that happened as a result of her winning. Like they got the first Hispanic, a congressman over there in California? I think it was a congressman. That part. Yeah, I think it was the first Hispanic.
First transgender health administrative. I think that she's like an assistant or something. So a lot of history being made.
Right. Her husband is the first, second gentleman, It's just kind of, it's a lot that's happening with it. It's really, really interesting. Now, I know we got about a couple more minutes. Did you see anything with this switching gears a little bit with the COVID, man. This vaccine, it's a whole lot of controversy going on with that this week. I seen a couple stories that you sent me with deaths, people dying. Where was that at?
That was over in Norway. A couple elderly people died right after receiving the vaccine.
The Pfizer vaccine, right?
Yeah.
Anything new come up with that?
You know, they just trying to explain it away. Just, you know.
I wouldn't be explaining it away other than just laying out I guess, because that's what I was going to ask you, my Tel, is what would the medical complications underlying other than obviously up in age, you know, so which means no matter who we are, it's going to be obviously some underlying. I don't care if all you have is just every now and then my blood pressure just gets high. You might be 80 years old and every now and then your blood pressure gets, even something as minimal as that can still trigger to something else when you're up in age, just because of your system and because of everything else. So we're taking the whole virus thing out of it. You can get some basic cold or get everything else and things can go left. So again, and when they do these storylines, and once again, this is one thing I'm big on, when they do these storylines and they just throw stuff out there, it's one of the things that gets under my nerves with sports too. You throw something out there and then you just leave as an underline. Hey, just chew on that just to get you going and get and spike up interest as well as alarms per se. But then I know it's other parts to it to where it balances it out so it can make some sense too. But I'm gonna leave that out or get that to you later on. Be good for that. And I understand this is that's the business of reporting and journalism and stuff. But when it's serious stuff though, you really shouldn't do it as much. You really shouldn't be doing that. Not when it's something serious. This is a worldwide thing and it's a pandemic. And so pushing anything to push unfaithfulness in something that obviously has to happen so we can get control of it, it's not the most responsible thing to do. Not without no facts. If it's killing people left and right, by the way, there's all kind of stuff, all kind of places open down here in Houston.
And we just hit the 400,000 mark, you know, this week or last week, recently. So it's steady moving up. Joe Biden has said that it's gonna get worse before it get any better. We haven't really heard that kind of talk.
What you mean? When you say worse before it's gonna get any better, you talking about the
just more deaths, more people with the virus. It's gonna spread.
Oh, trying to slow it down.
I also heard something interesting this week. They were saying that if you get it, or I'm sorry, that if you there's like a super, like because of the mutated strains and how the vaccine is working, it can develop a super strain that'll become immune to all the vaccinations or whatnot.
Right.
And then, I mean, that's crazy if that's the case. I mean, that's definitely scientific explanation. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. That'll be something else. Yeah, we'll be right back in a minute. So we got Nike, man, coming out with another lawsuit against these counterfeit companies, warehouses, whatever you want to call them, people who scalping and beefing up the black market with fake stuff, and they're going at their head. This time, I think the lawsuit is for like almost $7 billion, which is huge. They won one before, which was like for a little under $2 billion, I believe, but this is a big thing, man. This is going to affect a lot of stuff, man, in my opinion, if they win it. You know, the black market, like them shoes sell a lot. A lot of people walking around here with fake Jordans on without a care in the world.
Because they love it. It's a big it's big business, especially
because it's so it's almost, you can't tell no more. Like they done got so good with duplicating these sneakers, for example. I mean, it's not just sneakers; it's all the Nike apparel, Jordan, Converse. Like, it's just so you really just can't tell no more, man. But they
And
going after the
I wish,
pockets.
and J. Ralph, I wish Julian was able to get on here because what I like to know from him, from a young mind, how do you know the difference? Because he's online and he does doesn't he does some reselling and things like that. What how are you able to tell?
Well, it's ways. I mean, they got a lot of different new technology now with sneakers. Like, there's an app that I've been seeing lately where you can take all these pictures of your shoes, and every angle, all of the seams, and just everything about the shoe, and then you upload it to the app, and then the app will confirm or deny your authenticity of this particular shoe. So, I mean, just that's just a something new that's going around right now. It's plenty of ways, but now, like I said, man, you don't really know unless you've been in the game for a long time, looking at the shoes and understanding how they stitch together, and the size of this and that. It's just a bunch of different ways, but you can tell though. You can definitely the people who've been involved with it long enough, they know the real from the fake. I mean, and obviously, if you getting a super discount, then the red flags have to go up. You know, but
Sure.
but what they're doing is they going after the accounts of these warehouses, these people. They're going after their bank accounts and the assets that they own in this lawsuit. So it's a different type of attack, and that's gonna mess up the future of people like this, because it's like, hey, would you risk everything that you have for it? You know?
Yeah, because in essence, they want to go strictly for those assets because it's a thing of you're living a full out lifestyle on falsifying and duplicating our brand. So here you are, because those warehouses and all, they're making a bunch of money, I'm sure. Manufacturing, they reselling, and a lot of that stuff's going overseas, going to the Caribbean, and going to all different other places where they love those things. Hey, they don't have no problem with wearing knockoffs,
Yep. Right.
none at all.
Right. But it's just kind of tricky too, man, because all of their warehouses and places like that are overseas. I mean, they in Asia. So it's like you got the counterfeiters doing their thing over there, and then you got the real Nike warehouses and sweatshops doing their thing in the real. I don't know, man. It's gonna be crazy. But the people at the bottom are gonna take a big hit from this if this goes through. They'll sue, but nobody's gonna show up to fight the case, right? Who's gonna show up and say, well, yeah, I own one of these counterfeit shops, and that's the same thing that happened, in the first lawsuit that they had. Nobody showed up. So I don't know,
Wow.
but it's definitely gonna be something. I'll be following this story for the upcoming months. I know y'all can find it online. I might find it and drop it in the description so people can go check. It's a lot of sneakerheads on YouTube and just out here. So, but that story is going around. But another thing I wanted to ask you, both of y'all, really, man, is about these broker apps with these stocks and investing.
Yeah.
Just kind of shifting gears a little bit. Like, how safe are these broker apps? One of them, I mean, I use a few of them, uh, but I've been seeing, with everybody at home nowadays, the hacking and the phishing schemes and all that stuff is up. You know, and with these broker apps, you don't have the same protection as you would with a bank, for like with all of the insurance, and if your money get hacked or whatever at your bank account, you just let them deal with it. They'll replace your money, and you don't have to worry about it no more. But with something like this, the money need to be found, and that might not happen. So I don't know. I mean, I know it's 2021 and stuff is pretty much, it's a lot of reputable companies out there doing it, Skrilla. But what you think, man? I know you were heavily involved with those apps.
I mean, you just got to be careful. I mean, if I wouldn't put my life savings on there. I use it for strategy. So, um, and it's easier to control, and you can kind of keep a pulse on what it is you're trying to do. So if I'm working out a strategy, I'll use couple apps or whatever, just to kind of iron out how I want to really invest, for real. So I mean, you just use it at your discretion. I mean, but at this point, nothing is really safe, because they've hacked the Treasury Department. So I mean, you definitely want to just use caution if you're going to use anything online, in my opinion.
And one way to do that is change your password a lot. That's one way.
Okay.
Like little things like that, you gotta just be up. I mean, anything that you care about, you should always change that password often. Keep you a document or something like that so you don't really have to really remember it, as you know what I mean. But change it often and make sure it's difficult, because a lot of this there's a lot of programs and software out there that can just randomly put different people don't just have to sit there and try to guess your password like that. It's not like that no more. So got to be careful.
For sure.
Got to go through those security measures. Definitely.
I was checking the Motley Fool out this week too, and they was talking about, I didn't even read the story, Montel, but I saw the image and I could just know where they was going with it. I think I sent it to you on Instagram. It was like a droid or a robot or something like that, and they said this technology could make the first trillionaire. Did you see that one?
Yeah, you can teach software. I mean, even though them big brokerage firms, they have software to basically analyze companies and even kind of like do your your valuations of a company. So I'm sure they can really put something together to just make a guru of it, which I mean what I'm saying, that's just software.
That can just walk around and wash the dishes for you or go to the bank for you or whatever.
That's what things is headed at, man. I mean, it's just like the technology is going to be, in the future, it's just going to be probably the think tank. Just imagine, you get some AI, analyzing, technology, things, just different facets of business, man. And I mean, shoot, people will probably pay good money to, have something like that. Yeah. Kind of like replacing your broker.
It's like the little robot. It's like the little robot that vacuum your house while you at work every day at a certain time. I know you've seen what is it, the Roto something, the little circle vacuum. Like I was looking at how those are made and how they think and how those things operate, and that was pretty interesting, technology. That's crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Well, the backlash of it is it's just the fact of the matter. It's gonna dummy down humans more and more. This thing is always a blessing and a curse. Keep saying that. Same thing with social media and same thing with everything else. More people are terrible at being social. We sit down together at McDonald's or wherever it is, and your average person, especially millennials and going on down, terrible at communication and not knowing what to say, knowing what to do. Too used to doing all of that behind a device. Then when we do get when a lot of them get together, it's just to we interact. Oh man, we somewhere we hearing some music, or it's a social environment where it ain't a whole lot of talking, or let's get together, let's figure something out, or let's get to know each other. Anything outside of that, yeah, they can do it. They'll get together and be all bunched up together and there's some music playing, some kind of concert, yeah. But as far as the actual social skills and being able to figure things out and everything else, more and more they keep doing this technology, the more and more it gets stripped naturally from people wanting to use their brains. I've heard young people say, "Oh man, I don't feel like doing. I got to do too much thinking. I don't feel like doing that." That's a scary thing, hearing that. I don't feel like thinking that much. I don't even think we said phrases like that.
Yeah,
we just said agree. I'm tired of home. I remember saying I'm tired of all this homework, or can I do my homework later after I go play, or can I do? You hear? I don't want to think further than that, because Google gonna tell you in a half second anyway.
And they say that
the more and more they keep doing this, the worse it get.
doing doing like computer technology and mathematics and things like that is what helps to fight like Alzheimer's and stuff like that. So if that's true, then the lack of you having to use all of those functions because computers are doing it for you, like who knows what the future could be like for humans, that can have a major impact on the development of the brain itself. I think it already is. It definitely.
Yeah, we already at that point. I mean, but at the same time, you're always going to have those people that like to exercise their brain. I mean,
Yeah.
So even without the technology, you always had lazy thinkers and people that didn't want to use the brain power that they've been allotted in life. So, I mean, it could be a good thing, a bad thing, just depending on how you
Technology is a
use
good
it.
thing. It's just that balance. But the other thing is Skrilla, as long as if you use your head enough to, first of all, the people that are still around, they, as they call it, as we all get of an age, you'll get that adopted name of old school. All right, old school. But the good thing is that actually, if they can do some listening to that to help balance it a little bit, because they're entrenched into the new way of where it's full out technology and wanting things quick. Give me something quick. So that's at least soak up some knowledge and everything else, because it's going to help you with common sense. And then also just some of the old ways of thinking and how things were, those things still don't go away. They still are beneficial, whatever else. So the smart younger people who are okay with listening to that and soaking that up, some of that up too, it's going to it'll benefit them.
No doubt.
So.
No doubt. Hey man, when we come back, man, y'all gotta tell me if y'all saw that black girl twerking in front of in Washington. Did y'all see that?
Was Soulja Boy with her?
No. Soulja Boy wasn't with her. She was twerking for Black Lives Matter, baby.
Wow.
At the Washington Monument. We be right back.
Yeah, this is your boy TEL-SCRILLA, and you are listening to Talk 100. Catch us every Friday night at 9 p.m. on Twitch. Just search NCG Media, and on YouTube, Talk 100, and Facebook, Talk 100.
Now I don't know if she was doing this if Black Lives Matter put her up to doing this. I don't know the truth behind that or not, but I know I watched the video and I seen her dancing and it was just kind of weird, man. She had on. Did you see it, D-Mara?
I didn't see it. I heard about it, but I didn't get a chance to see the video and see her actually doing it. Did she have on a Black Lives Matter outfit? Like, how do we know what made her attached to that?
I don't know. I think that was in the description of the video that I watched. So I don't know if they put her up to it or not, but some of the comments was acting like they did. So I don't know how true that is, but I definitely watched the video. Let's just say that they did put her up to it. What you think about that? A lot of people was responding like they did though. If that was their display to go against Trump in the end, was the twerk with an American, like, I don't know, she had on like some little coochie cutter shorts, whatever you want to call them, with the American print on it. That was funny though. But what you think about that?
I just think that's wild, and I think if they're slapping on the Black Lives Matter organization, then maybe are they trying to rebrand it to say, hey, we want to get down and get a little raunchy, a little ratchet, in celebration to Trump dog getting out of office. So I mean, I don't know what where that's wild that they even labeled that as Black Lives Matter and then showed that. That's funny. That's not a shocker. We got people twerking all over online all day long. It's just the fact that they slapped that label on it. Yeah, that's what makes it so interesting.
I was trying to
and kind of like, really?
It was supposed to be a Martin Luther King tribute I guess
Oh wow.
in honor of Martin Luther King, but I guess she was a representative of Black Lives Matter. I mean, I think that's pretty much what the organization is about. Just
That's what
kind
they
of,
about.
yeah, Black Lives Matter.
It's about what?
It's about twerking.
Ah!
Oh my goodness. I don't know about that. I don't know if I saw that on their website.
But if you read their manifesto, that's pretty much they want to tear down the family and other little things. So they pretty clear in their agenda.
Mm.
I think people are just waking up to what they're really about. I mean, it's a heck of a slogan, you
Yeah,
know, because
it's a
how
heck of a
could you be
slogan, ain't it?
against it? But at the same time, when you read about what they're really about, I mean, it didn't
Hell yeah.
surprise me.
I've been,
So
yeah, that fine print. What is the organization really about? Yeah, yeah. So
And the
yeah,
show get
that
a
is
lot of
very
support. I
interesting.
don't think
So
so they posted it on their Instagram page or whatever. So I guess that's how she got attached to it.
mm.
Yeah, I just heard a lot of people griping about it because, like I say, they starting to wake up and be like, "Wait a minute, man, what is this organization about?" I guess
yep.
if you were vocal about it beforehand, it was kind of like people were disgusted at you or whatever. But I mean, when you they it's pretty on course to what they are about. Not to say that they not uh doing anything good, but at the end of the day, it's not like it's a
Yeah.
fair
It's,
representation of black folks.
there you
Yeah.
go. There you go. And
Mm.
like you said, that just on marketing and on the slogan and name itself, hey, that gets a 100 because that's the whole thing. That's why it's so. That's why it took off just on that alone. But just like anything else, we look at that Big Mac on the billboard. How come when I get go there that sandwich is sloppy and don't look like that? The lettuce ain't in place and cheese and everything's all in place and neat. No, as soon as you open
They
that thing up,
said
you got stuff all over your fingers.
they said the page called twerking an ancient sacred dance of liberation and wellness.
Mm,
So there we go.
that's the
Wow.
definition.
So black women should twerk with pride, they say. So there you go. That's I mean,
Oh if
if that's
well,
that's
I
what it's
mean,
come to,
I
and
know a
that's what
lot
it's
of them who would
reduced
agree
to.
with that. I know a lot
that's
of
what
them
it's
would
about.
agree with
And
that.
so here's what I say,
And why
Montel.
you trying to shame me? Why you trying to
They might
shame me?
where you now all you need is a face to help you out with that. So I say get Cardi B on the line, get her on the line, and then on the other end, you're gonna have to teach her how to do this though, because I know she probably don't know how. Get Candace Owens on the line too, and let's see if she can. Since all this is sophisticated and it's working, you have two people on each end of the spectrum. A little bit of ratchet with some Cardi B, and then you can put you some Candace Owens on there too, and now put them on there.
Oh,
Since
Candace
they're
Owens
saying,
definitely know how to twerk. She from the hood.
oh, you think she do?
I know she do. I believe she do. she
There's
wouldn't
a lot of
she
women
would
that know how to
she
twerk,
wouldn't
but
do
here's the
it, but
thing. I think Cardi B got more sense than that. And that's the, it's kind of like, when it come to us, man, we need to guard our own thing per se. You know what I'm saying? Because it's some fine black folks out here that got a lot of sense, and that's not any way a representation of what our struggle is about. And I
No.
think it's quite ignorant,
Yeah,
for
because
them to
dancing
even
has its
attach
own
that to
lane.
that.
I agree. I agree 100%. Because all of that has its own lane. The whole, dancing and having fun and all that stuff. And of course, people had their own gauges on what kind of dances is moral or not moral or whatever. That's a whole nother thing. But like you just said, attaching it to what's supposed to be, it's supposed to be a movement. It's supposed to be to help out with some of these, some of these scenarios and situations. This is what, so this is part of representation. So it is pretty serious, actually. So to put a stamp on it from that aspect. That's what I'm saying. That's what made it a little shocking. Not the fact of the dance, because we see that all you can see that all day online. but just attaching it to that. So that's interesting. That's what did it. That's what did it on that one. So that
Yeah,
definitely was interesting.
we already went on Dave Chappelle. I know that's up there, but you know, another shout out to old Chappelle. You know, hopefully
Oh,
get
Dave.
well, man. Yeah, man. We don't want that. That COVID is real. You know.
It is real. Oh, fellas, I meant to tell you. I don't know if y'all had a good chance to do it yet. I got tested today for coming to say that, probably that first block. I got tested for COVID today. Oh my gosh. The most agitating, it's necessary, but the most agitating thing, just, bro, they stick that long, and I knew what to expect, so it's not like I was blind. I understood, knew. They stick that thing way up your nostrils, they go all the way to your membrane, and listen, the nurse actually, I guess she's doing a counting thing in her head. Like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And it's like, but it really is 7 million years, because all you feel is this sponge at the top, way up top, about near where your eye is, basically, all the way up in the membrane, and turning and stuff like that to get, to get that sample of your, oh man. I felt like my sinuses was open, my nose was right, everything for at least about an hour after that. I said, oh man, I hope my breathing is going to go back to normal. I might not ever breathe the same again. Man,
sorry
oh
you had
man.
to go through that, dog. But moving past, we got about 10 more minutes on this part. So Soulja Boy and this woman that's suing him.
Yes.
So lay it out, D. What, she was the personal assistant.
She was the personal assistant of Soulja Boy, and Soulja Boy went and did something. They said Isaiah Thomas, baby, from Detroit. Well, Isaiah did something with they said something was he put some kind of hair in their coffee, but that was old school. The new school thing now for these guys with this stuff is text messages. So he sent a text message of his private area to her. It started out that way.
Unsolicited,
she said she was turned off. She said she was turned off, but she was turned off and then started being with him and dealing with him and moved in.
Okay, so
funny
she
as that
moved
sounds.
in with him. So and then
moved in, and then she said it went left, and he started getting aggressive with her and putting his hands on her, and he started getting jealous. She said of certain things, and she would post on social media and everything else. I don't know if she was twerking, but posting certain things on social media, and he would get jealous, and then basically he went from there to putting his hands on her, and she started fearing for her life, and then it went to the ultimate, which was over a 2-year course of time. She said, I was raped, is what she said, over a course of 2 years. So I don't know if that means, circumstances here and there, he would force it to happen when she didn't want to, obviously against her will. That's what that would mean. But this happened over a course of 2 years.
So that sounds like the period of time when he got back popping again, when he went viral from like the Breakfast Club interviews and everything. So I'm just trying to think about the timeline. So she said he would punch and body slam her due to his jealousy. So this is all laid out in the lawsuit.
Yes. And one time also, we can't leave this out. They were in a car one time. She pissed Soulja Boy off. He pushed her out of the car. And made her walk back 5 miles, according to her.
And she walked back.
She walked back to the house. Not to her mom. She didn't call her father up. Hey, come pick me up from somewhere. He just put me out. She walked back to the house with him. And he expressed remorse after paying her $1,000. That was Soulja Boy's remorse. It's gonna be all right, baby. I'm sorry and I love you. Here's $1,000.
Paying her $1,000.
She went on ahead and stayed for a little bit longer to May 2019.
So she took the money.
Mm-hmm. She took the money and stayed.
She didn't say he offered her $1,000. She said he paid her $1,000. So she took the bread. That's important too. Like it seemed like everything that she doing goes against her saying how scared she was for her life.
But she also alleged that he would punch her and kick her and body slam her. And when he would get jealous, he also said, I should have killed you. She's saying, that's what she's saying. Allegedly what she's saying is he told her I should have killed you. And she claims that she claims some of the stuff that was claimed on R. Kelly. We're going to bring his name up too. That he was claiming on R. Kelly. that he locked her in the room with no mattress. So she had to sleep on the floor. I don't know if it was carpet in the room. For days without food or water on multiple occasions. So multiple occasions as in the days went on, time went on. You had the opportunity to go ahead and leave, but didn't. And it happened on multiple occasions. She also claimed she was sexually assaulted at least, Skrilla, twice a day. Not consensual sex. I was assaulted and sexually twice a day. And after that, in 2020, after the violent attack in August of 2020, this is where it all hit, she said she thought that she would fear for her life, and that's when she finally moved out. August of 2020.
Obviously, Soulja Boy ain't gonna get the benefit of the doubt because the way he just present himself. You know, all of the evidence was well documented on the internet. Plenty of videos that could display him being aggressive. He's already been sued for assault in January of last year. So, you know, the courts won't be on his side. But, you know, it's just a lot in this, just this little bit of information that we have. Obviously, the court document is huge, a lot bigger than this. But, you know, just what she's saying, it just don't seem like it's going to really help her case a lot. Like every opportunity she had to leave, she went back and dealt with it. Mm-hmm. You was offended by him sending you the pictures, but you still proceeded to get in a relationship with this guy. Yeah. You know, and I'm not saying that give him the right to abuse her by no means, but, you know, when it's court and law, you got to be able to prove all this stuff. And it seemed like she could probably be lying. You took the money, you walked back to his house. You could have walked the other way 5 miles or walked home from there. What's so important that'll take you back to getting abused and treated to where you in fear for your life?
Well, when she was fearing for her life, J. Ralph, the last thing, I left this part out. When she went back there in August to get her things, the reason why she said also she feared for her life, when she went back there to get her things, I don't know if she went back to go get a couple dresses, maybe some red pumps or something like that,
whatever
some lipstick she might have left behind. She went back there and he raped her again, she said. and then and that's when she thought he may kill me.
She went back for a session. What you need? What do you need from somebody who threatened to kill you and you're afraid for your life? What do you need to go back and get? I don't know. What you think, Skrilla? You muted, dog.
TEL-SCRILLA.
Yeah, we have to see how that one play out. Of course, wish him luck, bro. That's all you can really say. I hope it ain't true. You know, and if the thing is true, you know, you gotta be smarter, dude. You in the public's eye, and there's people out there that will scam you. You know, that's they finessing now. So you a guy with some money, man, you can't just be out here randomly dealing with chicks because you gotta really be smart about who you have around you. And that's just period. But especially if you are in the public's eye and you got money and you got access to fame and you know, people can try to come up off of you and that, you know, you got to kind of move circumspectly. So, you know, a lot of these guys don't understand that. And, like you say, the public perception of you could be negative, you know, based upon your actions. Mm-hmm. So.
Oh, yeah.
We'll be right back, y'all.
You are listening to Talk 100 with TEL-SCRILLA, D-Murder, and J-Ralph. Tune in every Friday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Hey, I want to give a big shout out to New Leaf Home Solutions in Waterford, Michigan, premier real estate investment company which can help you make your dream home a reality. Holla at my man TEL-SCRILLA. You can check the Instagrams right at the top of the screen. Also, Herbal Rotation LLC, a company which helps to draw awareness to responsible herbal healing and also helping to diminish the harmful effects of opioid abuse in society. You can check out their newsletter every single Monday morning at 8 a.m. at herbalrotation.com/news. And that's what's up. D-Man, I know you've been following what's going on in New Jersey. I just want to know, I know we've been on them for a few weeks, but do you think Steve Nash can or need to do anything regarding his big three with the Nets?
Well, I don't know if Steve Nash has full control yet of the team. Hopefully that is working out in the right way, especially with dealing with personalities like Kyrie Irving. So, but they got on the line. James Harden, he was successfully forced his way out of the Houston, Texas. He left the Rockets. And, we talked about that trade and everything last week and everything, but hopefully they actually can have some camaraderie or whatever else. I'm personally not going to pour $1,000,001 stocks on them just because they decided to form a big three in the middle of this last 2 years of going back to duels and not big threes.
Well, did you watch? Did you watch the first game that Kyrie came back playing with James Harden? That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Yes, I've seen the highlights, and I've seen how his shooting percentage was higher than James. So a lot of people feel that told that there's not going to be a backseat thing going on. It's going to be a back and forth, or we'll see what happens. But he took more shots than James Harden. They still obviously lost the game. And so we're going to see how that plays out. To answer your question,
they played better with Kyrie than when he was out?
They played just fine. They still played good. I don't think it was better. They played a better game the last game before then as in a team, but how they looked, I mean, they'll be okay. I think they honestly will be okay, but they're gonna have to, just figure some things out where who's gonna be those shot percentages. See, KD doesn't. He's efficient. He'll get all his shots on a lower count and still make a whole lot of shots. The two ball stoppers of those two are James Harden and Kyrie Irving. So we'll see what happens with them. But no, it's not like he made them worse. No, to answer the question, no, he didn't.
Okay, it's pretty
I took something else. Say it again.
I said that's pretty controversial. I've been hearing, conversations about that, a little dialogue here and there this week.
Something else real quick before we get out of here. And again, we'll check all this stuff out. And always you can go to Real Sports Time with D. Burrow. And the Chiefs coordinator, Eric Bieniemy, he has been interviewing for head coaching jobs. He's an African-American coach. He's the coordinator over there with Patrick Mahomes, with all those helping design some of those special plays and how they're looking good and smooth. But anyway, he's been interviewing. He interviewed down here, Houston, Texas, where I'm at, for the Texans. And between the Texans and a couple of other teams he's interviewed with, they're going back, and there's a big thing coming up on the African-American thing, the black side of double proving yourself. Oh, well, we don't know if is that really him doing that? It might be Andy Reid. Oh, man, we don't know if he really can lead a group of men. Well, did you say that about Bill O'Brien when you brought him over from the Patriots? Or just because he was just over there with Bill Belichick from the Patriots and because of other reasons that we know, and you gave him a shot? So that's another thing that's been percolating around with the NFL.
Who you picking this weekend? That's what we want to know. We want to know who you picking this weekend for the Super Bowl.
Well, who I'm picking for the two teams to go to the Super Bowl, I think actually Aaron Rodgers from the NFC side. I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to beat Tom Brady and the Buccaneers. I just think they're running too smooth. I think that Aaron Rodgers is going to make more plays, and believe it or not, I think they're going to get out coached, and that defense is real solid too. And they're blocking their butts off of Aaron Rodgers, man. So he got all time in the world to make plays and extend third down possessions, all kind of stuff. So that's what I got on the NFC side. And of course, I've got Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl from the AFC side. There's no way in the world nothing else I'll be able to say anything else. You think playing? Josh Allen is going to come up in there and beat them in Kansas City at Arrowhead?
Is he cleared from the concussion protocol?
Oh yeah, they cleared him today. They cleared him I was laughing because another friend of mine, again, Phil and all the rest of them, they said they cleared him right after the concussion. Being funny, as in last Sunday, but in all seriousness, he got cleared today. I thought it was going to be Sunday morning, 7 days. They've already cleared him. They do a progression of tests. They did another test on Wednesday and a light practice, and then Thursday, and yeah, he cleared the test. So he'll be suiting up out there. Now, if he gets slammed on his head and hits his head on there, they immediately pull you out. That's part of it, unfortunately. So they better be getting, I want them to get Chad Henne ready just in case somebody do a dirty play, J. Rouse. Because if he hits his head one time on the ground, he literally has to come out for the game. It ain't, do we got another concussion? It's, you already had a concussion, now your head is hit. Wow. So we got to watch that real careful on Sunday. It's going to be very interesting. Stay tuned, baby.
Definitely. Hey, man, that's what we do every Friday night. Montel Skrilla, D. Morrow, J. Raphael. This is how we get down, you know. Come holler at us, chop it up with us every Friday. We do it grown style, you know what I mean? So tune in, talk the number 1 HUNNID. And what'd you say, Real Sports Time with D. Morrow on YouTube and Instagram. Also, Skrilla Tell the Producer on Instagram. Holla at us. Skrilla.
Peace.
Yeah, this is your boy Montel Skrilla, and you are listening to Talk 100. Catch us every Friday night at 9 p.m. on Twitch. Just search NCG Media, and on YouTube, Talk 100, and Facebook, Talk 100.